Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Don't Quote Me on This podcast.
A lot of people always told me I got the face for radio. You know? Get it? Face. Yeah, anyway.
It's an old joke.
I was told I had a bod for podcasts.
Is that a thing? It's not, no,
I get the pod bod. What? It's
You
not a big
got a
deal.
pod
Wow.
bod.
I get a
Bill.
pod bod.
Yeah, cool, man. I love a good pod bod.
Oh, boy.
It's replacing the dad bod. It's like, oh, you look like you might have a very low-key radio station with 5 listeners.
Yeah, don't quote me on this.
What am I even offering?
There is no real data in there. There's no charts. There's no...
Hey, I'm not going to ruin your career if I'm just like sitting here swearing up a storm and making inappropriate jokes, am I? I mean, do you think Jeffrey Epstein ever just had coffee with somebody, or is every time he had coffee, do you think it turned into child rape?
Try me, bitch! Come on, just fucking try me!
What's this guy's name?
I think that I've got Ron Paul's endorsement for my podcast.
What caliber handgun do you need to take down a bear? It's like nothing. I just need a 22 to shoot you in the knee. That's it.
I'm taking the moral low ground here.
No, are you kidding me? The White House? That thing is patriarchal as fuck. That thing is going to get torn down. It's going to be in the shape of boobs.
Every time I've been searched by the police.
It ain't gay if it's TSA.
What, you're not going to cavity search me? I can legitimately see it being child rape every time you get a cup of coffee. No, you should definitely cavity search me. Please, put those fingers up my butt.
It's not fucking Barger!
Whenever they find something, they take it out and they put it on top of the car. They're not doing that. Ghislaine Maxwell, she was saying you needed 3 orgasms a day. How do you know there's nothing up there?
I don't smoke weed. I'm a good Christian boy.
I know people who drink 3 cups of coffee per day. I'm just saying. And it was at this point I realized that they're going to take my car from me.
It's fucking Barger.
So basically what happened
Explain
is...
it right or I'll slap you.
All right,
Please
well,
explain it wrong. I want to see this.
What's with your Monday energy?
Of course there's no audio. There's never any fucking audio. Roger Sanchez, you're the man, dude. Seth Hall, you're the man. Seth Hall, you're coming on tomorrow. I'm not going to record you. I'm not. It's just going to be your lips flapping the whole podcast. It's going to be a good video, though. You're going to look like a really good mime. All right, back to the topic. What I was saying is... Welcome to the Don't Quote Me on This podcast. It's Thursday. You know what that means? That means that there is no agenda. There is no plan. There's only a litany of swear words and unpopular political opinions. So, that being said, we're going to get into it. Today, my guest is Nolan Pelletier. He is a father, a beekeeper, he's a son, he has pets, he likes bugs, he's a great conversationalist, a thoughtful guy, a diplomat. I mean, I could just like layer the praise on this dude. You know, I'm a big fan. He's a Mises Caucus guy. I was showing off. It does mean tomorrow is Friday, Roger. You're a very wise man. Can you get to the last day of the week? That's a whole 7. That's like 2 fingers onto your next hand. But so we got Nolan. He's another Mises Caucus guy. What I was doing before I realized there was no audio is I was advertising this shirt. Look how dope this shirt is. I made that shirt. It's for sale. If you want one, you can message me. And if you have topics you want me to cover on this show, you can message me through the same channel. It's dqmotradio@gmail.com. That's my email. I love getting emails from fans. It's never happened, but I would love to get an email from a fan or a hater. I mean, hate mail might make me happier. I'm not going to lie. I would love to say that's not true, but like kind of fun. Nolan's coming on. He's going to spend like a good 5 minutes talking about how Roger Sanchez is gay. And he may or may not ask if that dude is wearing a thong, which is a fair question. To be honest, I would ask. So what I have to say here is this podcast is fairly appropriate, and there is one point where I might throw like a little bit of a thing out there that could totally get me flagged and kicked off of YouTube or whatever else. But thankfully, I moved over to Odyssey today, which I think is deplatforming and proof. So I'll be streaming stuff onto there too, onto Odyssey. It's not compatible with the Restream yet, but we'll make it happen. And Roger, thank you for the compliment on the FSM shirt. I have been told I have a knack for design, though I'm just getting into it. I'm just getting into a lot of things. So without further ado, I am going to start the show after I plug this beautiful beer glass. It's my favorite beer glass. I'm trying to drink from this beer glass on every stream. So I'm going to start the show. There was one more thing I wanted to throw out there, which was... Oh, so Nolan running for vice chair of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, which is kind of cool. It's like the third largest political party in New Hampshire, but it's the least political party of New Hampshire. I like that. I also want to say we're going to PorkFest. Free Speech Media is going to PorkFest. Mises Caucus is coming to PorkFest. We're all going to be there hanging out. I'm going to be running the Mises Caucus Lounge. I'm going to be doing crosscasts, cross-pods. I'm going to be doing crossover material with other people who want to do podcasts, interviews. I'm going to take some videos. I want to do some like promotional stuff for the PorkFest. Also, I have a video out. If you're curious about PorkFest, I have a video out, and I will put that link in the comments of this video. But I've been flapping my lips for like 5-10 minutes now. You guys want to see a show, and this ain't it. I can talk forever. This is something that I do in my spare time. I just talk to myself in front of my computer. So without further ado, I give you the great and powerful Nolan Pelletier.
Click the right button to deactivate.
I wish there was a reverb setting. I actually just want to put you inside my computer.
There probably is a reverb setting.
Press Alt-Right for reverb setting.
Press Alt F4 for reverb setting.
This isn't actually going on the recording, and no one will be able to hear this. So when people listen to this, they're not going to get it.
It's just going to be some clip of going Alt-Right.
Dennis did not like when I said that the Mises Caucus was all right in that interview. He's like a little sensitive about that stuff. Fairly so. I'm embracing it. I'm leaning into it. You call me alt-right, racist, whatever, I'll take it. Now, argue with me.
It's... We all know, well, I shouldn't say we don't know everyone in there, but like we've been around, and it's untrue, obviously.
Yeah.
So it only perpetuates what people. It's weird, being this provocateur type thing is a little. I mean, Jeremy is a little bit. Are we live?
We are live. Yeah, I can. If you want, I can introduce the goddamn show.
No, that's fine. I don't know if that's the right angle for me.
Provocateur?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I wouldn't advise you ever go down that road. You'd probably be way too good at it.
I don't think so.
I think that you're a good diplomat. So I'm going to introduce the goddamn show because now we're talking. People don't even have context about who you are, what's going on, why is Mike in the room? Is this an episode?
I live here.
That's a good reason to be here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Don't Quote Me on This podcast. I am your host, Bill Barger, and you're probably wondering what the hell are these people talking about? Why is Mike in the room, and who is this guy? Well, Mike's here. He's my honorable brother and co-host. He's here 50% of the time, every time.
I'm also wondering what we're talking about and why I'm in the room.
And Nolan is the very special guest tonight. Nolan is a father, a son, a man. He's an electrician, a husband, a farmer, of vegetables at least.
Yeah.
A beekeeper, and he's running for the vice chair of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. And most importantly, he has a pet pig.
I do. And I guess I'm not really a beekeeper right now because I lost my hive.
Now, what does that mean when you say you lost your hive?
They didn't overwinter, so...
They moved away?
No, hive collapsed.
They died?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's sad. Unfortunately, it happens quite a bit up here. There's a lot of variables in it, but...
Well, as a libertarian, I think you'd be against monarchies anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah. Just going to leave that one there.
Nice.
Well, no,
Thank
he
you.
actually is, and he's probably open to it. They can have their little monarchy if they want within his yard.
Yeah, I don't...
He's like, no, you
I,
can
I
have
don't
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
I don't forcibly keep them. Well, I mean, they can move.
Clearly, you don't.
This is Clearly, I don't.
But that's sad news for the bees.
Yeah, that does suck.
That's
So,
all
can you grow a new one? How does that? You have to attract them, right?
Well, you can put up bee boxes, but it's just easier to buy bees.
Oh, I forgot to say he used to be a DJ too, so I knew he'd bring up beatboxing at some point during this podcast.
Yeah, more along the lines of classic wedding DJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
That's got to be fun and boring as fuck all at the same time.
Yeah, it was kind of fun at first.
Yeah, and
You
I
know.
missed-
Then it kind of got old. I was working two jobs, so I was working the week and then I was like working the weekend, and it just kind of got old. But the money was good.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's your divorce rate?
I don't know. I do know there was at least one couple, but that's all I know about. So if we're going with
The
that,
one stayed together.
no, one got divorced, but
Gotcha. Right after you finish DJing.
oh, actually two. There's two that I know. So
I definitely want to keep
100%.
I'll go take care of that.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Well, luckily, I when I started my own business, I was able to stop DJing. So
What business did you start?
my Ohm Electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about just meditation and things like that,
Yeah, it's
or it's just all about the resistance.
it's all about the resistance.
Yeah.
His little logo is an omega, and it's pretty much the end all be all of designs.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And if you put it upside down, it says who. Because I wrote it on all my tools. I was like, Ohm, and then like I threw one of my tape measures, and then I looked at it and it said who.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Didn't think that went through.
This is whose?
Well, I was trying to explain to my girlfriend earlier, I have a particular set of dikes that I really enjoy is my set of dikes, and she did not quite understand the joke. And
It's a very good joke.
it's not even a joke.
But it is, but it isn't. Because
Yeah.
I have a pair of dikes that I really
Everybody
enjoy.
has a
Yeah.
particular pair of dikes. Like, that's my favorite pair of dikes, and I just always want that pair of dikes around me all
Yeah.
the time.
They do the job well, and you just
Yep.
want it by your side.
Yep.
I understand.
Same thing with strippers.
Yep.
You've got
I I have a lot of strippers being an electrician.
Yeah, you get a lot of strippers and a lot of dykes that you just want to have around you at all times.
Yep.
It's just the way it goes.
Is this current? Are we talking current events right now?
Yeah.
Because I would rather talk current events than a bunch of shit you tools are talking about.
Dad jokes.
All right. You guys are dads. I'll give it to you.
That's true.
People used to think I did a lot of dad jokes. I've been trying to stay out of it, trying to not make jokes.
Let's talk current events.
Let's talk current events. So you're running for office. Why?
I am.
Yeah, actually, that is the best question. Why?
Why? Because things have got to change. This past anyone who's gone through this past year and hasn't called into question, if you're free, I just don't. I can't even put it together. I'm a small business owner. Stuff was getting shut down. I was worried about, my family, my livelihood, and I thought there would be at least one party that was standing strong and really promoting, individual rights. And I didn't get that feeling. I don't know if anyone else got that feeling over this past year.
I was hoping the Libertarian Party would do that.
It was a tough year, but it should have been our year to shine and set ourselves apart from anyone else. And
you were already in. I just joined up. You were already in the Libertarian Party last
well,
year.
I was, and I didn't really have as active a role as I probably should have. But I mean, I just didn't feel like it really represented what I wanted to see.
So what did it represent, and what do you want to see?
I want to see our party grow. I mean, I want to actually be part of a party where we're making a difference towards liberty. I mean, I get this past year was tough, and they did do some pretty good things. Like they got on the ballot. They took them to court. And they got on the ballot because it was a tough year. No matter what you are or who you are, getting signatures. So like,
yeah, going out and getting so there's different. For people who don't know, there's thresholds. If you're not registered in a lot of states, if you're not getting above, I don't know, what is it, 20,000 people in Maine, I think. You don't have 20,000 people registered to the Libertarian Party. You don't get on the ballot. So you got to get 20,000 people, or so maybe it's not 20,000. You have to get a certain number of people to sign up.
I could be wrong. I don't know if it was 5,000. I'd have to look it up, but it's still a considerable amount of signatures to go and collect all by hand out wherever, especially in a pandemic.
Correct.
The case was, I think, to knock that number down because they felt it was unrealistic considering the circumstances. I mean, this past year, like, I don't even know. It was like a weird world for me. I work construction, so like I've been out and I was out almost every day, so nothing really changed for me except that I got to see everything change.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was on a farm in the middle of nowhere in California most of last year. So I didn't get to see everything change. I was spending 6 days a week on the hill, on the property, working, doing labor, and then going to the grocery store like once a week. So I would like go to the grocery store, and the difference was we would wear masks, and then somebody would like randomly get in a fight with somebody if they weren't wearing a mask. And then by a certain point, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And I knew from the beginning they shouldn't be locking us in our homes or anything. Like the lockdowns are bullshit. They have no right to do that. But I didn't know how bullshit the pandemic was. And I'll tell you right now, I think it's bullshit. Sorry, not to detract from the point you were just making.
No, I think when it first happened, at least for me, like I didn't really know how to handle it because they're like, oh, you're gonna die if you have any of these morbidities, you're gonna die. And my wife has asthma, and I go to see my father weekly, so it's like he has issues, and it was kind of this jarring thing immediately in your face. And once you started to like process this information, and you started asking questions, the amount of resistance that was put against you was tremendous, and you'd just be ostracized because you don't care about people. Just trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, it's crazy. It's like if you thought in 2016 they were throwing the word racist around, in 2020 they were really throwing the word grandma killer around. They're like, you're killing grandmas, and we don't even know if this is killing grandmas. Like, we don't know how deadly this is, but if you don't obey, you are killing people. It's like, that's kind of a thing where, the whole pretense is like, well, we don't know what it is, so you should be careful. But then you will get the label of a murderer if you don't follow the things, if you don't subscribe to their whole, the rules, the new rules, whatever they are. So it's kind of like...
It is a tough one to do, though, when you say, hey, we don't exactly know what's going on, but if you don't do this, there's a solid chance you're going to be causing possible deaths. But that leaves a lot of room for people to say, you have to do this, otherwise you're definitely doing it. It's like, wait.
If the government can tell you that you have to do something or put something on your body, are you free?
No.
No, but that's a different question.
They can tell you...
One's a question of morality, and then one's a question of what's a government's role and what's a government's responsibility. And also, what is your responsibility as an individual within the state, and what is your role within the state? So that's the thing about this, is this whole fucking pandemic, is that there's so many different aspects of looking at this.
Mike, let me ask you this. Regardless of what might or might not be socially responsible, you think the government has any right to tell you how far you can stand from somebody, whether your grandmother can come over, whether she can use the bathroom, how much hand sanitizer to wear on your face? Do you think they have any right to say that to you? Say that? Tell you when you can leave your home, whether you're allowed to open your business?
I don't believe the government has any right to tell me anything whatsoever.
Okay.
Because the government is nothing but a bunch of other people, and no one at all has the right to tell me what to do.
Correct. I agree with you. So
there.
As far as your,
that's my baseline.
Well, that's good. As far as all that goes, they did.
I know.
And I think where Nolan's kind of coming from is like, there's people out there using maybe the guise of the best intentions possible to plot to control your life on the daily basis. They're out there writing new laws every single year, and they're getting them passed every single year. And there's people like Nolan who are like, we need fewer laws. We need to roll back the state. All of that stuff. We need to be diminishing the size of government and letting people keep more of their money.
I would like more of my money. I just want to state that for the record.
You don't want more of your money?
I do.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think everybody does.
I want all my money.
I did the math
I would just like some, at least some. Can I have some of it?
I did the math today. If they tax a business at 20% for every dollar that they generate in revenue.
You mean steal from them?
Right. If they tax, so they tax that dollar that's generated by a business at 20%. So now that business has 80%. Now they pay their employees, right? Before their employee gets a paycheck, 20% taken out of that. So now you have, it's like, I don't know, 65% or something at that point. And then you, at the cash register, get 10% of that taken. So now you're like, you have 57% of every dollar that you spent, which means that for every hour you put in, it's like you get 33 minutes of the work and the government gets 27.
That's the price for a civilized society.
Well, I guess
now wear 2 masks at a time.
Yeah.
It stands 6 feet over there.
The question though becomes, what are you getting for all your dollar? If you don't subscribe to the things that everybody at this table subscribes to, what are you getting for your 43% that's taken from you?
Well, you're not speaking German, so you're welcome, Hitler.
I'm also not in an Iranian gender studies program. Or was it? Where was it?
Actually, you might be.
But we are bombing other countries.
Studying me.
Yeah,
that's true.
But we are bombing.
Would you rather we bombed our own?
We're getting there.
We got to use. We got to use those bombs somewhere.
How nice would it be that you could just check? I don't want my I have to pay taxes. Well, I don't want them going to weapons.
Can
There's no way you're going to do it except not pay taxes.
we
so
do murder taxes or non-murder taxes?
It's a good question.
Because that's really all it comes down to. It's like murder taxes or non-murder taxes.
And we get to pick.
Well, yeah, because
And then we get to keep lists of who's paying their murder taxes and who's not.
Who's not?
Isn't that the whole like Catholic pro-life argument? It's like, yeah, the government isn't really funding abortions. It's like, yeah, they are.
Well, their argument is that you should. The
No,
government
tax
shouldn't
dollars aren't going towards the abortions. It's other government money that goes towards the what?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Joe Biden is
Still Catholic,
pushing,
but funding abortions?
they're pushing a tour to try to sell America on the idea that government can solve problems.
We're going to give you a lot of money so
Hold
that we
on,
can tax you more?
Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. This is a CNN article I saw today. Joe Biden is going on a tour, and the seniors advisors say this is to help sell America on the idea that.
Please tell me he's doing it on
government
a
can solve
train.
problems. Hear me out, Mike.
Is
Come
it on a
He's
train?
doing a train.
Is it on a train?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
that'd be good.
Green eggs
Yeah,
and ham style.
that'd be the best.
That really would be good.
Yeah.
But he's doing. You could only go so many places. Plus, easy to do.
He could just pretend he's
thank
on a
God.
train. They could just, dress up like a
He probably
a
thinks
bus.
he's on a train most
They
of
probably
the
just
time.
put a bus and just put a little thing
Wasn't
on the
he
front.
born on a train?
Joe Biden right now.
Old Joe Biden, born on a train. That's a fucking country. That's a
I'm
Pete
pretty
Seeger
sure he
song,
did
like
say that
right
in an interview.
there.
That's-
Yeah,
And I was born on a train, and I got hairy legs.
yeah. I'm in.
Uh,
Fuck it, I'm gonna write this song. I got a guitar right over here in the corner.
no, so they're on this tour to sell America on the idea that government can solve problems.
Oh God,
The government can solve problems at all. Like, meanwhile, they're giving out more money than they've ever given out before. And this tour's purpose, the pretense is, it's probably going to be followed by an announcement that he's going to raise taxes. So I'm like, how is it that your solution is we're going to give out money, and then after you do this, you have to go on a tour to say, we have to sell you on the idea that
We're
solving
gonna
your
take that
problems.
money
'Cause
right
even
back.
Giving you the money didn't help, and then after that, we're gonna say we have to tax you more because we've been giving out so much goddamn money. Because you can't, if you're the government, you don't provide goods and services. You're not in a business. You're not getting profit. It's literally, if you were gonna give out $2,000 to every American, you have to take $2,000 of value from every American, or print
If-
it.
If
How,
he can
how
pull
much
it
is
off,
this? How much is this train ride? It's totally a train ride in my head now. How much is this train ride around the United States going to cost him to tell everybody that he has to go around and take that money back?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna cost taxpayer money.
Right.
Well, no, and they're gonna
No-
have
no
they're gonna pay
price
all
is
their
too small.
marketers.
really,
just-
when it
just
comes down to it, like
Dude, if it saves one life,
Choo choo, man.
that train's leaving the station.
if it saves one life, if it convinces one person, the government can
Well-
solve problems.
Oh man, this is great.
Honestly, if he can do it, we should be taking notes. Like, we should be taking notes on how he's doing. Like, I don't understand how you could sell that, but like, 2 years ago, if you told me that was going to happen, I would just laugh in your face, like openly laugh in your face. And the fact that it's kind of happening now is,
It's crazy. Yeah.
it's crazy.
I like to say that the mask is coming off. I saw Jimmy Dore say that once. I'm like, the mask is off. Like, the mask is fucking off. Like, I saw Facebook yesterday. I sent this to you, I think. It's an ad that Facebook was running on the Wall Street Journal website. And it's this chick standing there, and she's like, 25 years ago, major internet regulation was passed. And what's happened since then? And then it shows like floppy disks going in and Ethernet cables and then Wi-Fi and people on YouTube and all this stuff. It goes through like the evolution of the internet. And then she says, the internet has come a long way in 25 years. Shouldn't internet regulations too? And it's Facebook advertising on the Wall Street Journal for their lobby for more laws. It's like,
Pretty sure Tim Berners-Lee just came out recently and said Facebook is like one of the worst things to ever happen to the internet.
I believe it. No, I absolutely believe it. And to think, okay, so Facebook is advertising that they want more laws so you're less free on the internet. Now, people who say, well, obviously we need internet regulation so the big companies don't get too big. I'm like, well, then why is fucking Facebook, the biggest internet company, besides maybe Google, advertising for more regulations? You really think that more regulations is what's going to keep Facebook down. You're delusional.
Yeah, it's
You
going
know,
to keep him
you're-
in power.
You're delusional. Not only that, you see Joe Biden. He literally is announcing to the world on CNN that he's going to be trying to sell you on the idea that government can solve problems. Here we are. We've had 250 years of democracy in the USA, of this system of government, and he's trying to sell you. He's like, now we're going to mount this massive ad campaign to try to pump up the idea that maybe government can help you. It's like, I don't think that that's going to work.
I thought the Russians fixed Facebook like 4 years ago. Didn't that happen?
But that's hilarious too,
No?
because that was the first push for regulations.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, for me, it's a very hard sell to believe that government has anyone's best hearted interest. But like,
Oh no, they do.
yeah,
Their own.
no, they most certainly do.
They
You're
really
right.
do.
They really, really do.
Yeah.
You would think so when you're talking to people, because like the government wouldn't lie to us, and I'm like, hey, do you know history?
You got to have your examples in your pocket for that. You got to have examples in your pocket so that you can be like, oh, really?
Well, even if you have
Gopher
examples,
Greenland.
The name?
Just the name.
Mike's
Just
so
the
pissed.
fucking
He's
name.
So pissed. He found out when he was like 14 that Greenland was the shitty one and Iceland was the nice one. He's still fucking pissed. He's like, the government did that?
Yeah.
well, that's just good advertising.
That's exactly what it was. It was the government going, we need people over there.
It's called
We're
propaganda.
gonna call it Greenland. It's full of ice. What about Iceland? Oh, that place is actually kind of green. But yeah, you guys want to go to Greenland and settle that fucking place? No, you don't.
Yeah.
They show up there and like, when's it gonna turn green? They're like, oh, just wait a month. Or at least till after the ships leave.
You paid your deposit, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
All
And
sales,
by the
sales
way,
are final.
in 5 years, you owe us all taxes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
love taxes.
Yeah.
Love me some taxes. Good old-fashioned American taxes.
That was even
Theft.
before America. They hadn't even
Yeah.
made it to America.
Good old
yet.
American
Yeah.
Texas. Good old American theft.
I love Dennis. Dennis just refers to it. Dennis from my last podcast. Dennis Pratt. Check it out. My last episode. He just refers to it as slavery.
That's what it is.
No, yeah. I just
Yeah.
love that. I just love that. Like most libertarians would be like, "Yeah, taxation is theft." And it's like he's like, "Oh, you mean having someone slave for you, taking 20% of their time? Like, it's slavery."
And it is.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
When you describe it to somebody,
I just
like
love the
that.
hardcore. Like,
I equate
Goes for it.
theft to murder. When someone steals something from me, I look at them as murdering part of my life. I don't get my time back. I worked for that, whatever it was that I got, and then someone took that from me without compensation, without my permission. They took a portion of my life. That's attempted murder. That is murder. They took part of my life.
Mike's talking about when I call him, like, "Hey, Mike, can I have 5 minutes of your time real quick?"
It better be worthwhile because I'm fucking loading mags, dude. Come on.
Bill, you're fucking killing me right now.
You are. Yeah.
I probably murdered a lot of people in my life then.
Yeah.
I've wasted a lot of time.
No, but someone could. My bicycle was stolen, right out of my driveway, and I am very slow to anger, and then something like that happens, and I'm just like, if I find that motherfucker, I'm gonna rip his fucking spine out through his fucking asshole.
I
Just
can't wait
because-
to sample that for the intro.
Yeah.
I try to let rage go. I was doing a kitchen remodel.
I let rage go aside from when it's
Your bicycle.
murder. When they're trying to murder me in that really slow, painful way, because I'm living a slow, painful life.
Mike's gonna keep buying bikes and nothing else. You're gonna keep taking them.
Really expensive bikes.
I'm just gonna drive around and find bikes on the side of the highway and just randomly drop them off in front of his house,
I'm gonna be like,
Just like
no,
That's a really good Samaritan thing to do.
like a fleet, just in case.
no, because I'm still just gonna be like, oh, someone stole this bike and left it on my house, and now I gotta go find some other fucking. And then we turn in this vigilante bike return. Bike man.
Coming this summer, Bike Man.
Oh man, I wish they could hear the reverb.
We're gonna have to add that in later.
I can do that. I can probably do
They
that.
can't hear that reverb because it sounds so good.
It does for that. specifically.
It is kind of amazing, yes.
So, back to topics, I guess. You're running for office. What office are you running for?
I'm running for the vice chair of LPNH.
LPNH. What's an LPNH?
Liquid propane of New Hampshire.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting we don't have the echo. I keep wanting to do some kind of.
You should still do it. It's still gonna sound good.
Liquid propane of New Hampshire.
I like it. Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
So it's
This ad has been brought to you by Liquid Propane of New Hampshire, serving you and your family for over 50 years, keeping you warm inside and outside.
Well, Bobby.
Back to you.
So, vice chair, you think you can get elected?
I hope so.
You got my vote.
I wouldn't run if I didn't think I have a chance, but you never know.
Yeah.
But we got to do something.
Yeah. So what do you think your odds are? How much support do you feel that you have within the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, also known as the, what was it? Loser Patrol?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I think people know that I'm part of a certain group, and they have their intentions or
what group is that?
The Mises Caucus.
What caucus?
The Mises Caucus.
What caucus?
Caca!
I just need to get up to the camera right now. If you want a shirt like this, join the Mises Caucus. Or just buy one. Oh, they couldn't even hear it over there. But, yeah, Piss and Vinegar and Liberty. Get your shirts at teespring.com/Mises Energy.
Okay.
Go back to your point.
That was
I
a lot
think
of forward slashes.
A lot of people don't know what Mises is.
Right, that's why we're going to get back into it.
Yeah.
They just hate Mises to pieces.
But a lot of people who listen to my podcast
So like
do know what
Mises?
Caucus
What's
is.
Mises?
Mises to
The
Pisces.
Mises?
Yes.
So the Mises Caucus, we're very well hated within the Libertarian Party. Also 40% of the Libertarian Party. Also probably the biggest chunk of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. I've been asking Nolan questions like I am ignorant. But I'm not going to lie, I'm a Mises guy. And I know.
Is he
he's part
rhyming
of
on
Mises
purpose?
Caucus.
What's up?
Is he rhyming on purpose?
I don't know.
I think he is.
Just
Little
happen.
Dr. Seuss action.
Yeah,
Canceled.
There we go.
Dr. Seuss snitched on me. So, yeah, you're a Mises guy. Why is that?
They're out to make a difference.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
man.
nothing has really energized me probably this much since Ron Paul.
No, I gotta ask you because, like, I know that for me, I got all excited about it after watching the Part of the Problem show grow, and then joining the Facebook group and seeing how many people are doing things. And I met this dude. He's a buddy of mine now, Harrison Kemp out of Maine. He's the vice chair of the Libertarian Party of Maine. Great dude, and he's like working on like passing legislature and writing legalese and all this stuff, and made me feel like a regular guy could do something useful. You know, because he's just like a regular dude.
I mean, I like to think I'm of myself as a regular guy. You know, I'm not I ain't nothing special. I was an electrician. I worked for somebody, and a long time ago, I think the seed of self-ownership was planted, even though it didn't come to fruition for a while. But once you kind of acknowledge that, this is my body, I own it, and and you want to grant that to other people, it's everything else kind of falls into place.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I guess was there something that like made you think that you could actually do something for other people though? Was there like a trigger?
I don't know if there was an actual trigger. I think I always want the best for people. It may not be the most I don't want to say it in the humanity. I actually came, this is kind of I don't know if we want to even get into this. I actually came from, I was a Democrat. I don't know if we've actually even had this conversation before. Okay. So I grew up in a very conservative household, went to Catholic school, went to Catholic high school. And probably, I mean, I met my now wife she went to a different all-girls Catholic high school. Did you guys ever go to Catholic high school?
Not high school.
Not high school.
We both went to Catholic
school.
elementary school.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. People who haven't gone to Catholic school.
We were raised in a very Catholic.
And probably around my junior, junior year, we were dating. And then by the end of high school, I found out I was going to be a dad. So I was like 18 in a very, as you know, conservative religious community, and it was kind of like this weird kind of, they always preach, oh, we love everybody, and then that happens. It was
right up until
all of a sudden everybody's real judgy and giving you some weird looks.
Yeah, it was, I did it. There's no pointing the blame at anyone else, but it was just kind of this weird eye-opening thing where I'm in this community and they preaching love and acceptance and this
right up until
something happens, and it's gossip and stuff being said behind your back, and it was a lot to take in at 18. I'm not gonna lie, and I mean, luckily my parents were not in that camp, so like I was able to like go through. I don't know, her parents were pretty cool too, and we didn't get married, but like accepting that and moving forward, it kind of like changed the way that I kind of pushed all that aside. I didn't want to deal. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so judgmental on the conservative side of things. Like they don't understand that like it's just not all.
Kind of skews your perspective.
Yeah. It kind of pushed me the complete opposite way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, there was many, many years that I was voting, blue no matter who, and it's very easy to get lost in what you think feels good, I guess. It's this feel good legislation because you feel like you're if you believe in equality and self-ownership, like you think you're really promoting it, but
It's dogma.
yeah, it's almost like in that aspect you're doing it at someone else's expense.
Groupthink. It's groupthink. It's tribalism. Like, hey,
Well, but
everyone's got to do this. As long as everybody does the same thing,
not just
we're
that
all
though.
good.
You're talking specifically about the blue, like about what the sale for being a Democrat is, right?
Yeah.
Partly there, where it's
Yeah.
like the dogma of like we're the group who care about people. Because like at first you were saying like you're in a conservative family. They said they love everybody, except there was like there kind of is within the religious thing. There's a tenet where it's like, except if you do this, and then we don't know what to do with you.
Right.
And you kind of were in that sliver, and you're like, wait, these people have all these values they're pitching. Then you go to the Democrat thing, and that dogma exists there too. Like, we really accept people, we accept gays and the trans,
Yeah,
and the people who have had kids who are too young, and we care about minorities, and we care about peace too, and all of these.
It feels real good. It's a real good sell. Like you really feel like oh my goodness, I'm doing the right thing, and they really, really care. But like at one point, I was like, this is just a sales pitch. It's really not. You're really not doing anything. It's kind of what's going on now. Nothing's really happening. We're just.
That's everything, everywhere. I mean, it's always been the whole like, get someone to feel like they're part of the group. That's always. I was in the fucking military for 10 years. There's a lot of it. There's that, and even though I'm not going to say the military is that way, but there's a lot of it that has to be that way, where it's like you're not a person anymore, you're part of this group, and it's necessary, but it also is something that you have to, as an individual, you have to be like, okay, that's also not me.
This is kind of funny because I just had this conversation the other day with my neighbor, who's also he's a veteran. He actually came over and picked up my beetle. with his little.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm a VW guy. If you don't know that, so air cooled VWs. If you get extra parts, I'll tell you what my address is. But so he came over, he picked it up. He's doing. I like to barter. We traded some stuff for some work.
It is the New England way.
Yep. Or dicka. I like the dicka.
Yeah.
So we were over there and having this conversation, and I was saying I couldn't. I'm like, I don't know if I'd have it in me to do that. I mean, I've never joined the military, and his thing is, he said, he was a Marine, and he was like, you could, and you would, because it's just training. They just beat it into you, and he's like, that's what you live, sleep, and breathe. I don't know if I don't want to speak for you, but like that's what he said when push came to shove, you almost weren't even thinking for yourself. You were completely relying on your training in a situation.
It depends on the situation, and it depends on. I mean, when you do it as a 19-year-old kid, it's totally different from what I'd be doing it now.
Yeah.
And it was totally different from when, so I went in when I was 19, and I did 4 years active duty, and then I was out for 2 years, and then I did 6 years in reserves, where I was reserves and then active duty for a bit within that 6 years. So I left. My uniform came off the last time in 2012, so almost 10 years ago, and I was 31. And you could never put a uniform on me right now. I don't regret a single fucking thing I did, but that's not something I can do right now. I just can't do that. And I told you what I think about government earlier.
Would you say you've been red-pilled since then?
No, I was red-pilled before. I knew what it was going in, but I also knew what I had to do going in. I knew that when they said you have to do this and all of that, like I knew that it was part of the game.
Yeah, there's something where you can do it for you. You can be like, this machine's running. This machine's running whether I'm jumping in or not, and I can use this to advance myself. And you can also, you can buy into the dogma, and then that could be.
That machine is gonna run it will spit you up. It will spit you up and spit you out, and you will just be gone. And it will just continue to go without you, no problem.
It runs on 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds.
It has to.
Well, he went in at 17. He was saying, and that's.
It's weird that Duncans and the military do that. Isn't that kind of fucking strange?
No,
McDonald's and the military, they're like fucking.
It's actually not strange at all.
Meat packing facilities. Yeah. No Navy pun intended.
No, it makes sense. It makes total sense. And actually, the Navy would totally take people younger than that if the laws were different, and historically they did.
God damn it, we should abolish that minimum wage.
No, seriously. I mean,
libertarian. No. I'm so good at painting libertarians in a bad light on my podcast. It's terrible. It's like really bad. Like I'll say that at the worst.
Yeah, just the
fact the worst possible.
Just the fact that you have a podcast kind of paints libertarians in a bad light.
I probably should. Like I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna ruin your career with this, am I? Like I'm trying not to get you to say anything racist today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, not because I think you would say it, just because I would go there and like.
Oh,
it could be funny,
Billy loves doing racist things just for fun.
It's like I said,
lynchings. Sometimes lynchings.
We were having a conversation earlier about comedy, and it's actually probably been no more dangerous time to be a comedian than now. Well, I don't know if that's really true, but there
might have been like one or two,
yeah, maybe
times, and in the past
200
years might have been like
I don't know. That's a bit hyperbolic.
I could name one time, but you guys aren't going to expect it. The Spanish Inquisition.
I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't. That was good.
Nobody expects
the time.
Nobody expects.
No, it wasn't the time for jokes.
Yeah.
No, I was just kidding.
Well played.
That's my favorite thing, though, is that everyone's like, oh, my God, how can you joke about this or how can you joke about that? I'm like, hey, look, as soon as you start murdering comedians or making sure that no one is allowed to have fun about things, that's when you know you're wrong.
Well, I mean, I think historically comedians used it as a tool to actually draw attention to it while still making like slight of the situation.
Yeah.
Where
They've never disrupted an actual government.
I don't know. Would you say that Trump was a comedian?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Also, president of the Ukraine, comedian, I believe. He got elected. That's what the part of the whole scandal was. Like, oh, Trump.
I kind of think I
Wait,
you remember that?
They have elections in the Ukraine?
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm your typical American. I have no idea what the fuck's going on in the Ukraine.
I'm pretty sure Putin says put these two people on the ballot. He's going to win, and then the people vote, and then the votes are added up, and that guy wins.
Is that like Saddam Hussein?
No, America did that one.
No, Saddam Hussein actually did his own elections.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, for a long time.
After we propped him up?
Yeah, he was just
It's like,
like,
we'll put you in
the
power,
only one on
and
the
then
ticket.
you can run your dictator elections.
yeah, and he was like, hey, look, I won 137% of the vote. And they're like, you can actually, no, you can't go over
Bro,
100.
just take
And he's like,
200.
no,
Just
I
take 200.
totally did.
I did. It's amazing.
He's like, yeah, and everybody who voted against me died. And they're like, I thought you just said no one voted against you. And he's like, yes, that's correct.
Now he's hanging with the greats like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
He didn't kill himself. Whatever
Yeah,
happened.
everyone knows Saddam didn't kill himself. Yeah, where have you been? Hello.
Oh.
It's crazy. I didn't know. It's such a shock to me that they hanged him.
Why would they not?
I don't know. I thought it was an electric chair. I thought that was the thing.
They
No,
don't have
hanged him.
electricity in Iraq.
Solar power.
I thought they had it
I'm
somewhere.
kidding. They actually do, but they got rid of their government by hanging them, and then we gave them democracy.
And then they voted for us to leave, and we said, "No, we're hanging out."
Yeah, we really like. I don't know. We love the Middle East. We got a lot to protect there, huh? We got so much stuff.
No, actually,
No.
it's so fucked. It's such a fucked situation to begin with.
My take on the Middle East is essentially we have enough shit tied up over there. We'd look really, really stupid trying to pull out. It's like Vietnam on steroids, and I just think there's no way they're doing it. And you have such a military presence over there in so many concentrated spots in the Middle East. You have how many military bases we have to shut down at once? Not only would you be saying we're wrong,
I don't know.
but
we
there's
are-
the whole
we
thing
are
where these
wrong.
people say, well, and I agree. But not only would you be saying that, there's the whole thing where it's like, and it would look so weak. It would look so weak for us to shut down all these things. Or you could
We
make
do
the
that all
pitch.
the time,
if you were doing propaganda, you could make the pitch that it's fucking, we've won so effectively, we can remove 100 bases in the Middle East. You know, like, there is a cell there if you want to propagandize it. I don't know exactly what
It's
we're
not
doing
like
there.
these people don't have
It
the
seems to
internet,
me-
though.
It seems to me
Yeah.
we're making money for BAE, Raytheon, and fucking Lockheed Martin. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're protecting interests.
But it seems to me like we have enough oil that it's not smart for us to be over there for oil. That's what everybody says. I don't
Pretty
buy
sure
it.
we're
I
not
don't buy
over
it.
there for oil, and I actually haven't heard anybody say that for anybody of consequence say that for a long time.
I mean, Donald Trump last year said we secured the oil fields.
well, yeah, we did.
So no, but I'm.
But that was like the first honest thing where it's like, hey, we secured the oil fields. It's like, cool.
Well, no, listen. All I'm saying is people do make that case all the time. Like,
Yeah, but
oh,
there were
reason we're in the
morons that were
Middle
like, hey, we're in Afghanistan for the oil. And it's like, hey,
What about lithium?
there's no oil in Afghanistan.
Well, that's Northern Africa, right?
I believe there's lithium in Afghanistan. I could be wrong about that, but I'm
There
Go
could be
find it.
lithium.
When you get in office, you'll guarantee to go find
But
it.
when people are saying, like, we're only in Afghanistan for the oil, and it's like, oh, God, no.
Well, and see, my thought is that I don't even think we're there for the oil. America is one of the most oil-rich countries in the world.
we're there for the poppies.
So poppies, I do believe. No, I do believe that there's massive interest in heroin trading globally. I also believe
How do you
that-
how do you fund things under the radar?
You just make sure
You-
that
you
they're
don't have
staying
to.
there forever.
You actually don't have to fund things under the radar anymore. No one reads a fucking bill.
Yeah,
How
that's
can
true.
how can you read a bill when it's 1,000 pages and you just get it?
And if none of the
several hours
Congress
before.
people write them, who writes them?
They write themselves.
Bum, bum, bum! The real questions.
Facebook algorithms.
Why do they not have time to read them? Did they not write them? Like, what the fuck? So what are the overlords
We
pass
have
these
to.
down to
We
Congress?
have to pass the bill so we can find out what's in it.
I'm just saying it's some creepy shit.
No, everybody knows this. This is the way things have been going for a long fucking
Mike,
time.
Why?
Don't talk to my audience in a condescending manner. That's my job.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I still don't know why we haven't passed some kind of bill that only limits what the bill is about to one subject.
Oh my god, because they would be there every single day.
Because there's no possible way you'd be able to survive on your salary in Congress.
If
If
it's
you
on
did
one
that.
issue,
Wait, do you get paid by issue?
No, you get paid by the lobbyists.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well put. I like that that's the answer. I was pitching it up there as like a thing, but you're exactly correct. It's like
That was a very
you
soft
couldn't-
pitch. Yeah.
But if you couldn't, well, the idea is like if you get paid by issue or something, because somebody who's ignorant would think like, what are they? If they don't pass as many resolutions, do they not get paid as much? It's like, no, they get paid for their interests, and they're passing a whole lot of special interest bills.
Exactly.
That's what's going on there.
but you would think it would be such an easy bill to pass.
It is.
Except
you would
nobody would
think.
vote for it. It'd be easy to write.
Hey, you're
be
the
two
you're the
lines.
dumbass running for office.
I'll try.
Hey,
I mean, it's
we'll get Harrison
how-
Kemp on the
what-
job too with you, because that's a great project. If we could get one state to do it,
Hey,
You know?
can we get anybody to actually elect a libertarian that will actually like do something?
it's happening.
Because
It's happening around the country.
Yeah.
we have a lot of shitty fucking Democrats and a lot of shitty fucking Republicans in office. Neither of which do anything aside from wait, what do they do? They rip apart our freedoms. They don't win wars. They don't win anything. They just make shit bad, and then they say, elect us again, give us more of your money, and shit's going to get worse before it's going to get better. And
Well-
then shit just gets worse.
I kind of feel like once this tour comes around, I might be on board. Once he comes around and tells me government's going to solve my problems, I might buy it this time.
I can't wait for this fucking train. It's going to be an awesome train.
If it's a nice train, I might buy into it too. If it's better than the tour bus, the No Malarkey tour bus was my favorite thing. Did you see the Joe Biden No Malarkey tour bus? Mike, can you pull that up on this screen?
Oh my fucking god. He really
It's so
said
g-
no malarkey.
No, it was
No
the,
Malarkey
it was
tour
the
bus?
centerpiece of his campaign in the beginning of last year. Not
I'm
only
so
did he
glad
say Joe Biden, no malarkey.
Just that term is. I mean,
Oh.
I love the term "no malarkey," just because I have that.
Because you're also a dinosaur.
Because I'm slightly Irish and tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day.
I don't remember what I was going to look up.
Was it the Biden tour bus?
No, he's pulling that up so we can put it on the screen for the people. Not that they can see it effectively. So, Mike, fucking stimulus checks coming in. I'm thinking I'm going to buy another webcam and a green screen or a projector for us.
Oh, nice. I already got my stimulus check and I already spent it.
On
Bitcoin.
your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Such a sad resignation.
Yeah. So, what was going on today with that the Bitcoin,
Oh, that shit in Keene.
the shit in Keene?
So I don't really know exactly what happened there. It sounds like they arrested 6 people around the state. I don't know what their names were. I remember seeing the WMER article,
Yeah.
which you can look up.
I do. It's funny that. Well, I think one of them was Ian Friedman, and the one that I remember the most is actually Nobody, who was formerly somebody else.
Yeah, yeah, that guy's got a great name.
It is a fantastic name.
But yeah, my impression was essentially they were looking to bust some people for illegal money transactions for being, what was it? It was for being unregistered like trans like money transferring.
Something, I don't know if it had something to do with something to do with fees.
They didn't even say laundering. They were like, you're illegally transferring money from one place to another. Because it's easy, I've seen people locally go down for money laundering schemes and tax evasion. What was that guy? Local politician guy owned one of these pizza places. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't matter. But he went down for like money laundering, and that was the headline. It was money laundering. It seemed to me like they couldn't even put money laundering on these people. It was literally like illegal transmission of money. They moved it without letting us tax it when they moved it.
Yeah, it was.
And the bottom line of the article, of course, is like the FBI said there is no threat to the public.
Community. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they posted up outside these people's houses for hours. I don't know. It seems like some kind of a campaign to make people look bad.
I'm wondering if I'm not a cryptocurrency guy. It's something that I've kind of been interested in, and I've kind of dipped my feet in a little bit. It was actually kind of funny. I was doing a job, and it was at a financial advisor's office, and he was saying like, you're thinking about doing crypto, don't do crypto because they're going to come seize, he's talking about the government. He's like, they think it's all for nefarious reasons and they're going to come seize it and you're going to lose that, you're going to lose it. And I was kind of like, that's kind of a little far-fetched. And I mean, this was probably a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I was thinking you're talking like a few years ago.
No. Because I never really, when Bitcoin came around, I was skeptical. I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cute. Money, I didn't really understand how it worked. I was like, that's money on a computer, and that doesn't really compute with me. I'd rather have something in my hand or something in my account. It just didn't really seem like a worthwhile investment at the time. Looking back, I wish I did, but at the time I was like, this doesn't really seem like something that's going to pan out.
Yeah.
But now I see the value in it of having something like decentralized from the government that's not really intrinsically tied to any one government, any one nation, a global kind of thing. It's intriguing. You see these governments collapse, you see the value of, money fall. And if you actually have some assets that are, more stable, that could really pay off. So like, I kind of think of there's some value to it, and there's some value that it, operates underneath government regulation. But I think they're starting to see that, and people are starting to, buy into it. And I think that's scary for the government. I think this is a scary thing when they realize that they might not have as much control over the people that they want.
Do we know what gives crypto its stability?
Magic.
Well, so I wouldn't call.
Crypto, that's the same exact thing that gives fiat money its stability as well.
No, Mike.
Right.
Mike, I don't think that I would call crypto or fiat stable. So I don't know when you say
that's
stability,
my point.
Yeah. When you say stability, I don't think that that's a reasonable thing. You know what is stable, and you touched on this briefly, Nolan.
Is a building full of horses?
Stable full of Volkswagens?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I like it. More horses for the people. And wagons.
Didn't Hitler start Volkswagen?
The Volkswagen, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, see Volkswagen.
Oh, my God. Why? This has already come up. I posted a picture. Like, literally.
They already tied you into literally Hitler.
Literally the same thing. I posted this online because I love my VW. I love my air-cooled VWs. So I posted online, it said something like, no ABS, no stereo, no power steering, no seatbelts, no problem. And someone was, what about Hitler? Can we talk about? Can we
about the Jews? Are they allowed?
Can we talk about Hitler? And I was like, I guess so, but that really wasn't what I was talking about.
Like, sure. Do you wear shoes? Guess what? Hitler wore shoes too. You fucking Hitler lover.
So, anyways, I made the argument because obviously some things have a past that's not great,
Like shoes
like shoes.
and Hitler with your
But-
Porsches.
But that doesn't detract. The air-cooled Volkswagen is a very
That Hitler designed and loved.
I'm just picturing Hitler just drawing the actual designs. And he's like,
And
oh,
we will call it a bug.
oh, this is good. It be air cooled.
Yeah.
And this right here, this torque spec, good and tight.
That is the torque spec. The German torque.
Well, I mean, Volkswagen is the people's wagon.
More horses for the people. Yeah, the stable wagon. Yeah. So if we were talking about stable money, and I want to make one
so wait,
point.
wait. Let me whoa.
The Jews control all the money.
Let me-
Okay.
Let me wrap up my Volkswagen conversation because I really would like to end this on the same way that I did online.
Air cooled.
Air cooled.
Nice.
So, like many things, you could have a tainted past, but the air-cooled Volkswagen will forever be remembered for the era of love and peace. Its simplicity.
Was that during the Holocaust?
No, it was after. It found new love.
20 years after.
20 years after. It found its design. It found a new home with the hippie culture.
Totally.
And
Totally. Especially the buses.
The buses.
The buses.
They're
They're still that.
You can fit a lot of hippies in a bus.
Yeah, well,
You
it
realize
won't
you can fit a lot of
it won't go
bus?
very far.
Yeah. And
They're
You realize you can fit a lot of in a bus?
they're drastically underpowered. If we're talking about a Volkswagen bus is so many cc's and needs so many cc's more.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You were going somewhere too right before the bus thing. You said it was the hippie movement.
The
peace and
design
love.
the design of the air-cooled Volkswagen was easy to work on. It was cheap money to get a car, and that was very appealing to that community. They could work on it. They could do, buy a car cheaply.
Yeah.
And make it last.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think if you have a Volkswagen, you know that you're always. There's one thing that's
you're always going to be working.
You're always going to be working on it. If you have a Volkswagen, you're always going to be working on it, and that's why it's kind of good to have a car where you can take your motor out in like under an hour by yourself.
And lift it by yourself.
Yeah.
Air cooled helps with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, where were we right before that? Not to detract from Volkswagens. I gotta actually to stay on
And
Volkswagen.
Nazis.
Do you like them more because of the peace movement or the Nazi movement?
Some hard hitting questions.
I mean, you're a Mises guy. I feel like it's fair to ask.
Oh,
We're
I'll-
anti-war, also notably, reputably, I guess, Nazis for some reason. I don't know why, but they
I don't
seem
know.
to want to throw that at us.
I don't know why either. I actually have no idea.
Considering Mises was a Jew, I mean, come the fuck on.
The insults and the accusations just seem completely there's no basis for them, but that doesn't stop people from throwing them out there.
No.
Obviously the answer is the peace movement, but I mean, if you like Volkswagens, they're not super powerful, but they got their own little badassness about
They're
them.
not going to take over Poland.
No.
Not this time.
Not this time. So, I think my favorite thing at the last meetup was when I don't remember who was giving the announcement, but they're like, and some of these people hate us so much. There's this one woman who actually has a cup that says Mises piss on it, and somebody's like, no, her cup says Mises tears. Like somebody edited it to say Mises piss.
Oh, jeez.
Because whoever I don't remember who it was saying that was like had seen the joke version. And it was this lady who was pretending she has a cup that says Mises tears, and she's like, "Oh, I hate the Mises Caucus. I'm drinking Mises tears. She makes us so miserable. I guess she's drinking our tears."
All 12 of you?
Hey, it's more like 40 in New Hampshire,
Oh, yeah.
which is actually pretty sizable. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, it's New Hampshire. I mean, we are a very populous state.
But yeah, no. So yeah, that was very funny when he's like, and she has a cup that says Mises piss on it, and they're like, no. It says Mises tears.
Yeah.
It says Mises tears.
Yeah, but is
Just
it
so you
like
know.
is it like Mises piss spelled P-I-S?
Oh, by the way, did you see my shirt?
Yes, I did.
Can you read this to the people?
Are we doing this again?
We're going for it.
All right. Yes.
What does it say?
Libertarian Party Mises Caucus.
Come on.
Mises Caucus.
The Mises Caucus.
Mises Caucus.
Have you seen Mises Caucus?
Piss and Vinegar and Liberty.
Okay, come on. I designed this shirt, Mike.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Libertarian Party Mises Caucus. Piss and Vinegar and Liberty.
It's the Mises Caucus.
Mises Caucus.
You want to see the back?
We can fix
like-
that in post production.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post.
Just cut Mike out of the whole podcast? No.
Can you like put something right here? Right here.
Like, yeah, next week it's going to be like, hey, you can be in the podcast. Just wear this green suit the entire time. Why?
It's a gimp suit. I'm just into BDSM.
Yeah. Who are you to judge?
No judging.
Is there really a back to it?
Yeah, there's here.
Is it anything good? Or
I mean, it's Nolan will
It's
get
white.
It. No.
oh, fuck.
So no.
It's actually a backless shirt. It's all the rage right now.
Those are my favorite. Yeah, I love those. Young Bucks for Human Action. TakeHumanAction.com.
Thanks for doing our Mises plug today, Mike.
No, that's what it was.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Mises Caucus.
I'm going to be really upset.
Why?
that
I
there's
really
no
want this
on
reverb.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a goddamn shame.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. He does.
We can shut her down. It's time to shut her down.
It's getting there.
Word is coming down from on high. It's time to shut her down.
There's children that have school tomorrow.
There's
And
kids involved. It's not
There's,
good.
there's adults that have work tomorrow.
It's a terrible thing, especially when they steal it from you, the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
Sometimes the kids are the fruits of your labor. Hardest work Mike ever did in his life.
I never really understood Fruit of the Loom until I had kids.
That seems a little weird.
Well, after I shat my pants.
If you are dad, you still don't understand them.
That's a good point.
Sorry, Dad.
I thought you disowned him, or he disowned you.
Yeah, maybe he should be apologizing to me, goddammit.
Probably not going to happen.
Nah.
Dude, you're like, what, 9 of 12?
I'll see him from Easter.
Will you?
I don't know. It depends on if he's still
Oh,
alive.
he got vaccinated, yeah.
Did he?
So
Yeah.
I didn't get the email.
There wasn't one.
is the middle child actually the sixth?
No, there isn't a middle child. Because there's 12,
12.
so there's no middle
Six
child.
and a half. It's 5.5. No, 6. Well,
Wouldn't it be 6 and
6 and
7?
7. Middle 2. Jim
So
and
they'd have
Mickey.
to share it.
They're both half of a middle child.
all right.
And how do you do that? I'm the upper half and you're the lower half of the middle?
We do left and right.
Oh, all right. That's fair.
No, we don't.
See, I'm 3, so middle child was very easy.
3?
3. I'm one of 3,
Oh, all right.
but I was the middle child.
You were the middle
I
child.
wasn't.
Which one were you?
I'm the oldest.
If you guys go back out there again, can you just make sure.
How do you like being the oldest? What, and what's the age gap?
All my brothers and I are pretty close. We're about like a year and a half apart, each one of us.
So 3 years in total? No.
Yeah.
3,
Which one
4.5
is it?
years.
Well,
Oh no, 3. Yeah,
well,
there's 3 of
yeah.
you. Yeah.
like I'm 41. My brother's turning 40, and my other brother's gonna be turning 39.
You're all the same fucking age.
Pretty much.
3 of you in high school, 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but we didn't go to the same high school.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Divide and conquer.
Maybe personalities.
I don't support it. I went to school with my brothers. I'm not friends with either of them.
You didn't go to school with me.
No, you're the one I didn't go to school with, and we're friends.
We are.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm coming over tomorrow to hang out.
What?
Normally, I'm just over here for the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I ship equipment to his house, and then I'm like, yeah, let's record a podcast, and I'll ignore you for the next 3 months.
Actually, I'm thinking tomorrow we should just like have recording going on the entire time and see what happens.
Just down here while we're all hanging upstairs.
Yeah, and both. I'm just like,
A lot of dead air. We should do it live.
Yeah, which, I mean, sometimes the dead air is actually what makes it.
alive.
Yeah. Can we get some reverb on this mic?
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. So, we're going to wrap this fucker up. Let me see how much we got. We recorded a solid.
Click the right button to deactivate.
I wish there was a reverb setting. I actually just want to put you inside my computer.
There probably is a reverb setting.
You got anything you want to plug? You want people to vote for you? What can we do for you, Nolan? How can we support you?
March 20th, Concord, Holiday Inn. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter because if you're not registered right by now, then you can't vote. So if you are registered, please come on down. I'd love to have your vote. If not, come on after. Hopefully win a vice chair because we're going to just try to grow this party. So we want you in it. If you love liberty, come check us out.
If you want your rights back, if you want to be told you don't have to wear hand sanitizer in your face, if you want to be told you don't have to stand 6 feet from your grandma and she can pee in your house on Thanksgiving, join the Mises Caucus. Also, listen to the Don't Quote Me on this podcast, available at rss.com/DQMOT. You can find me at Facebook, Bill is a Joke, all that bullshit. I'm going to do all these plugs at the end. We don't have to do this right now. I'm going to watch this live with the audience. Mike, you got anything you want to plug?
No.
Bicycles. Drop off bicycles.
Yeah.
No, go on, yeah.
Don't steal my shit, or I will fucking murder you. How's that?
No, will you please do a bike plug for Mike?
No,
Just
I'm
one
good.
bike a day can save Mike's life. His anger of murder
No, yeah.
is too deep. You too can save him. Like, put in one tear on his face. Come in.
I'll tattoo it later.
Laugh
All right.
Now, laugh now, cry later. Yeah.
That's the motto for the Don't Quote Me on this podcast. The other motto for the Don't Quote Me on this podcast is if you're watching this right now and you're not outraged, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, because you should definitely have something better to do on a Tuesday night.
Especially since this is going to be streaming on Thursday.
Yeah, you should definitely have something better to do on a Thursday night
Yeah.
than
If
watch
you-
what happened on a Tuesday night.
If you don't have something better to do with your Tuesday or Thursday, you're the worst. I'm ashamed of you, and get the fuck out of here, all right? I don't even like any of my audience members.
Yeah.
Nolan, if you're watching this on Thursday, get the fuck out of here. I'm
I don't
ashamed.
even know
Go
if
do
I'm gonna watch
something
it.
worthwhile. God damn it.
I feel bad. I feel bad for any of my regular listeners who will be watching this on Thursday because they're just getting the abuse that they have subscribed for. All right.
They pay for this shit. No, they don't.
It's going to be at least a year before I can get anybody to pay
Oh
for
my
this
god,
shit.
we should totally monetize this. Let's
After-
take their money.
After Porkfest. Are you coming to Porkfest? I want to plug Porkfest.
Oh, let's plug Porkfest because I'm really excited about Porkfest. It is my first year there. I think it's your first year there, right?
Hell yeah.
But I am super stoked about it. We're gonna have a presence there. We're gonna have a tent up there. There's gonna be some big names coming down. People that I know you're gonna want to see because there's so many names I want to see. I mean, who do we get? We got Robbie the Fire. We got Dave Smith. They're both
Robbie the Fire and Dave Smith are showing up to Porkfest,
Come
New
on to
Hampshire.
Porkfest.
I think that's Thursday night, right?
Hell yeah.
I might want to go say hi to them.
Hey,
Yeah.
tickets they just went up to, they went up yesterday. They're $50 now.
No, tell them to come here and record a podcast here.
Okay, yeah, we'll fucking see. I'll probably record a podcast with them at Porkfest if I can. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, tell them to come here.
I mean, I'll tell them my brother wants them to go to his house.
No, you tell them. You tell them to record a fucking thing right here. They're already in New Hampshire. Why not?
You should just bring it to them. That'll be far easier.
Have you seen the size of this table? It's 10 feet long.
They make folding tables.
I made this table. I did not make it folding.
I could tell that it was handmade. Good job.
He is pretty good.
Yeah, Dave Smith can fold better than this table can. So he can fold himself in half, along with Robbie the Fire.
What are you trying to say?
They can come here to my 10-foot table.
Why don't you go to Porkfest? Gene Epstein will be there with Soho Forum.
Yeah.
Don't know who that is.
Debate show. Really good.
I think that's what, Wednesday?
He's an economist.
Is that Wednesday?
Yeah, that's Wednesday night, Tuesday night. I'll play, before we go, leave your headphones on. I'm going to play the clip. I have a promo that I made today. I'm going to play the clip. So you guys can listen into that. But I have a promo for the Porkfest, which will be playing right now. So if you want to hear about it, that's the next 5 minutes.
So Porkfest, the porcupine.
Let's go. Properties here. I'm gonna do this.
You're not
thing.
stealing time from me, are you?
I told you. He's like, Bill, you're fucking killing me right now. This is the worst. I can't. Not even remotely.
Worst part is I'll watch a shitty video on YouTube about nothing and be like, this is cool.
Oh yeah, no, anything that has nothing to do with me. Absolutely. And
Is there anything else besides shitty videos on YouTube?
Oh yeah, I'll watch shitty videos on anything and be like, this is cool.
That's fine.
Yeah. Michael Bay movies. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Why is it not showing up?
3/4 of the way through those, I'm like, fuck this shit.
So I'm always watching videos on like motors, and my wife just walks in. She's like, "How can you even watch that?"
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, oh, it's fascinating.
Anything on like machining, I'm like, these guys are geniuses.
So I'm just gonna play that at a later date, probably in the live stream.
Oh yeah, with or without the reverb?
Oh, hopefully with. If I can get reverb going at my house.
Bill,
listen.
this is your computer. Please press play for your promo.
God.
Click there.
Was loose.
How you do?
Sound like really, I don't know, stoic.
Bill, you're fucking killing me right now. This is the worst. I can't. Not even remotely.
Worst part is I'll watch a shitty video on YouTube about nothing and be like, this is cool.
Oh yeah, no, anything that has nothing to do with me. Absolutely. And
Is there anything else besides shitty videos on YouTube?
Oh yeah, I'll watch shitty videos on anything and be like, this is cool.
That's fine.
Yeah. Michael Bay movies. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Why is it not showing up?
3/4 of the way through those, I'm like, fuck this shit.
So I'm always watching videos on like motors, and my wife just walks in. She's like, "How can you even watch that?"
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, oh, it's fascinating.
Anything on like machining, I'm like, these guys are geniuses.
So I'm just gonna play that at a later date, probably in the live stream.
Oh yeah, with or without the reverb?
Oh, hopefully with. If I can get reverb going at my house.
Bill,
listen.
this is your computer. Please press play for your promo. Why do we not have the echo? Because that's perfect.
This is amazing. Yeah.
I'll try it right now. I'm gonna try it.
So Porkfest, the Porcupine Freedom Festival.
Bill.
Porkfest is spelled with a C, not a K. And it's held up in the mountains of New Hampshire.
Hi. Billy is.
Wrapping it up right now,
Everyone's waiting on Bill.
as usual.
So you still got the reverb going that no one knows where it came from.
No, it's a good thing.
But on the recording, we can just hear it in our headphones.
It's amazing. I wish I sounded like this in real life.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because it's amazing for us, and the listeners are not going to hear it at all.
No.
It makes me sound like really, I don't know, stoic or like.
All of us are like 80s wrestling announcers right now.
It sounds like we're talking to a really large crowd at a really important event. And it's just like the monitor and the speakers are so loud that it's just reverberating through this giant stadium, and we're very important people. It's very hard to turn this off.
And anybody hearing it without this is
Yeah, it's completely lost.
Yeah,
it's like all my jokes. It's just lost on everybody.
Because we're all going to be talking really slowly. I think it's like these guys are sleepy.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We're shutting it down right now.
I have to go yell at children.
Yeah, you do.
So Porkfest, the Porcupine Freedom Festival. Porkfest is spelled with a C, not a K. And it's held up in the mountains of New Hampshire. And it celebrates the freedom movement. It celebrates the Free State Project. It celebrates the people who have already been here. And it attracts people who are kind of curious about, is freedom possible? Is liberty possible? What would liberty look like? And so we set up basically a week of simulation of liberty in your lifetime. And we bring together all the libertarians of all different types. And you have different enclaves and different groupings and different types of activities, and everybody gets along. We also have a women's village that's cropping up, and I'm very excited about. 2 Porkfests ago, I was around the campfire, and I was like looking at all the strange people. There were people wearing bow ties. There were people wearing jackets and ties. There were people wearing practically nothing at all, a loincloth or something. There were people who obviously were doing some sort of hallucinating, and they were like going like this. And there were other people who were talking about passing this bill and were really kind of excited. And there were people who were, smoking some cigars and talking philosophy. And you got 1,000 people here, just all different types, all different stripes. And the only unifying characteristic of all these people is that none of them believe in initiating violence against the body of of one another. So it was actually one of the most peaceful moments I've ever experienced. Yeah.
What should a person expect when they pull up the Porkfest?
Well, this year is going to be very different. I'm actually in charge of it this year. I made it a task of mine to go out and find all the people who are doing like really cool things, crypto and diffusing crypto throughout a community. It might be agorism, making products and selling it. It might be kind of politics. It might be starting up businesses that are, trying to undermine government. The intimacy, the learning, learning real people doing real work for liberty and creating real liberty in their small communities.
Right.
And so, sure, the national conferences are fantastic, but it doesn't tell you how you can actually create liberty in your life. And that's what the Free State is about. It's I talked about, a lot of these conferences are more, let's talk about liberty. Whereas Porkfest is more about let's experience and try out liberty and see what that's like. So it's fantastic. And then Tuesday night we have a bunch of icebreakers and kind of easy type of things. Wednesday night though, by Wednesday we're really cooking with gas. We got the Soho Forum. going.
Cool.
And then we're going to have, you know, band music at night around the bonfire and things like that.
Very
and
nice.
all different types, you know, all the lounges will be open, I'm pretty sure. And there's going to be activity in all the different hubs throughout. And then Thursday night is their comedy night. We have Dave Smith and Robbie the Fire. And we have another comedian not yet announced who will also be there. But different because it's liberty comedy for libertarians. Like lose snot out your nose, funny comedy. Friday night's really kind of our let your hair out and just go. So we have kind of a rave put on by two sweethearts, and they have this gigantic dome that they put up there, and there's going to be a whole bunch of things happening in their little hub. But they put on a rave that's you have to pay to enter using crypto. So yeah, they're really into crypto, and they actually have apps that support crypto, and so
That's cool.
So it's kind of like this kind of cross promotion type. So PorcFest, the tickets are probably by the time people hear this, they're going to be $50. Eventually, they will be $100. So pick them up now. You can camp at the campground for dirt cheap, especially if you camp with other people. And there's hotels, so someone old and in the way like myself, I sleep in like a hotel. Not now because I have to be there. So if you're hearing this now, scoop those tickets up.
Well, I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that you can. Ugh. Pretty good episode. I don't know why the camera's not working. You know, that's life. This is a horribly managed stream tonight. I'm having technical issues everywhere. That being said, you can hear, if not see me, right now. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for looking at this blank screen. I mean, what's going on with that? You know? I don't get it. It's I'm invisible. It's like camouflage look. I can turn on all the plugs. Can't see that because it's been goddamn. But listen, you guys are great. As Seth Hall rightfully mentioned, all my listeners very loyal. They don't care how shitty the stream is, and that's incredible. I have to thank these people for that. You know, what else can you do? So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. If you're going to the convention, the Libertarian Convention, sound like such a dork saying that. But if you're going to the Libertarian Convention, be sure to vote for Nolan. No, but actually be sure, because he's like a good dude. Like he's a good person. And what else? What else do I have to say? I got a whole list of plugs. You know, there's like a website. You should go to PorcFest. You should buy tickets. Come see the Free Speech Media Group. We can do, and you can talk to us about what you think is important in the world, or in New Hampshire, or in life, or like what kind of stuff you want us to cover. There's podcasters all over the country in the Free Speech Media Group, Free Speech Media Network. I should call them by the right name. People are going to be upset with me if I don't call them by the right name. But I'm going to call them by the right name from now on. I know what I'm doing now. I'm a professional, goddammit. But yeah, I'll be there. Robbie the Fire, Dave Smith will be there. They're probably bigger names than me, I guess, by a little bit. Gene Epstein of the Soho Forum. It's like a great debate series show. He'll be there. We'll be doing some debates. We're going to have all the big libertarian names. But there's also going to be like parties and bonfires and music and all that kind of stuff, which I love that stuff. I'm more in it for that than I am for the politics. love me some good politics, but that's just like that's not the biggest priority on my list. I can't let it be. That's not, I don't know. I'm more on I guess if we're going to talk about the battles that we fight, or the battles that will be fought, or how do I even want to describe it? I'm more interested in the cultural shit. I want to tell people that you can be a libertarian without being a giant dork. You know, like, look at me. I'm like kind of a giant dork, but like, you don't have to be the biggest dork. Dorks are welcome. Don't get me wrong. But like, I feel like I said yesterday to my brother's girlfriend, I said, "Hey, you should come to Porkfest. It's and she said, "What is it?" She thought it was about bacon. I had to tell her it's not about bacon. Disappointing. But then it's like, I think it's still a fun thing. So I'm trying to sell it to her. Like, hey, it's this party, or not party. It's this festival. It's like a libertarian festival. And she's like, oh, it's libertarian. Like, I'm not into the politics. I'm like, yeah, but I want to let you know, like, people need to be aware, and we need to tell people this, that libertarians are the political party that thinks political parties are bullshit. I don't know how we get into this. And specifically, I'm not even like really a party guy. I'm a Mises Caucus guy. Look at my shirt. Piss and vinegar and liberty. I don't care about politics. I just want people to be able to live their lives and own their money. And, you know, I think that the double dipping that goes on with all the taxes and what they sell you that they're going to use your tax dollars for, you know, they'll say it's healthcare. They'll say it's to help people. And they kill people. That's the reality of it. And the amount of money that they take from people is much greater than the amount of money they spend helping people. And beyond that, I think that one of the greatest and most overlooked evils is that they print even more money. So they're beyond funding their evil practices with our dollars. They do that. But they also fund their evil practices by printing extra dollars and putting more money into circulation than even exists. So the way I like to describe it, and you may or may not have heard this before, is water balloons. They've got water balloons. Imagine a water balloon. So the gold standard was worth something like a dollar was based off of an amount of gold. Let's just use a different medium. Let's use water, another valuable substance instead of gold. Because we all know you can't eat a dollar, you can't drink a dollar, you can't grow a dollar into food. That's not the real value. It's a medium. It's like a way of transmitting things between sources that aren't necessarily useful exactly to each other. So it's based off an amount of gold. Let's say water. And I want to explain to you essentially what's going on when you're printing money. Nobody asked for this, by the way. Probably nobody's watching this, but I'm going off right now. I figure I'll explain it. When you print money, you're essentially printing balloons. So let's say in 1850 or 1800 or 1900, whatever year, before we were off the gold standard. I don't know off the top of my head what year we were off the gold standard. That's not really what year it happened, isn't really important. There's a certain number of dollars. They're backed by an amount of gold. We're going to use water. There's a certain number of balloons, and they hold a certain amount of water. Every balloon, right, every dollar is worth an ounce of gold, let's say. Every balloon holds a cup of water. So what happens if you have, I don't know, 1 million water balloons in circulation, and those are going around, and you want to get water to more people, so you print more balloons. You don't make more water. You just print more balloons. You put those into circulation and soak up all the water. The water gets distributed. There's no more water, but you have more balloons chasing the same amount of water. So each balloon has less and less water in it. That's what's happening to your dollars every time they print money that they don't have. They hand it to bankers. They spend it on killing people overseas, and they tell you they're going to give you free health care. How do you feel about that? I don't like it. I don't trust these people. that's where I'm at. I think more people need to understand that, and that's why I'm a libertarian. It's not because I'm some person that's like super political. It's just like I think this is unethical. I think people are the government has a monopoly on violence, which a lot of people kind of know and understand. Maybe not as many as they should, but they also have a monopoly on money, and it's really not good for you or for me. And these people don't have your best intentions in mind. So I'm just a libertarian because I want people to know. But I always want to live in a free society where people can do what they want. They can own their shit and not have to worry about the police coming to their doors and searching their stuff or collecting your metadata online or any of that bullshit. It's a pain in the ass. Who needs this? Who are you helping? Most of the time you're not helping anyone. You're creating more things to make more things illegal, to collect more revenue, putting more people who are not hurting anyone in jail and taking their resources from them. How many lives are being helped by the government? And I can't say it's zero, but I guarantee you it's fewer than are being damaged by the government. It doesn't seem like a hard set of math to do to me. But I want to thank everybody for watching. I like doing this podcast. If you like this podcast and you like listening, smash the like button. Smash it. Don't just click it. I hear people say that on YouTube. I'm streaming this one on YouTube. This is my first YouTube stream. Smash the fucking like button. Do it. And follow me on everything. It's at DQMOT Radio. Or don't. I mean, if you hate it, that's cool too. If you hate it, I want you to send me hate mail. That would make my week. Send me some hate mail at dqmotradio@gmail.com. And follow the Free Speech Media Network. That's the podcast network I'm on. We're all over the country. We'll be going to PorkFest. I'll be at PorkFest at the Mises Caucus Lounge. I'll be running that shit. Hopefully serving up some Mises margaritas and some Rothbard rum and whatever else we come up with. But it should be a good fucking time. That's June 21st to 26th.